Alright guys, so it's been a while since I did one of these videos, one of these vlogs. We just got back from the movies, saw Secret Life of Pets, pretty good, I recommend it. But let me just jump right into this, a lot going on. I finished Still in It Challenge, those were the last videos I did. The latest news is, based on something that happened back in March, now NSL Pro. Really excited about that. Okay, just getting home, like I said, we took some pictures after the movies. Hopefully we get a cool thumbnail, put it on for this YouTube video. But I'm very excited about being a pro, but that means a lot more work coming up. Basically, it just got started, you know, and I got some ideas coming up. But right now I'm gonna get my stuff together and head to the gym. So on the way to the gym, hopefully I can get a little vlog and explain how all this has come about. It's amazing. It's amazing, this journey that I've gone on. I'm real excited about it. It brings to mind a quote. I believe it was Steve Jobs that said this quote. He said, "You cannot connect the dots in life looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards." Okay, and it's amazing how this journey, how I could go back to the beginning from the very first time that I saw a men's physique competition. The first time I could connect the dot way back then, all the dots how they have come to be. You know, basically just believing and seeing what could happen. God has put everything in line. All the dots have fallen into place. So hopefully, let me get this together, get our stuff ready to go, head to the gym, and I'll vlog the rest, and I want to share this story with you. So I'm outside the gym and I want to go ahead and share some of this. Connect the dots. Now looking back, I can see how God has put everything into place and how the dots connect now. I'm not going to share every single detail because we'd be here forever, and maybe that needs to be in my book one day or something. But here we go. Back 4 years ago, at that time I was still married. Okay, and at that time my ex-wife had gotten really into lifting, and somebody had told her about competing, and I was like, yeah, you should do it. And you know, so she was in the process. I honestly didn't really understand it at that time, but I was always about, yeah, you could do anything, everything, you know. So it was all cool. So in October, it was, like I said, 4 years ago, but it was, I think she had started the journey around this time of the year, and then in October she did her first show. She did the only show I believe she ever did. I don't know if she's done anything else after that, because 3 years ago we got divorced. But 4 years ago she did a show, and I went to it, you know, trying to support, even though we were going through a lot of stuff. And it was me and my little daughter. We sat there, and of course the bikini girls come out at the very end, so which I didn't even know that. It was the first time ever going to that. I thought it was so weird, all these people in tans and everything. It was like going to another world, literally, like if I was in another planet. I didn't understand it at all. So sitting there all day, but then bikini girls come at the very end, and usually the physique guys come in before. I didn't even know what the heck physique was, but I see these guys come up on stage with board shorts, and they're not huge. They just look, you know, good, ripped. I was like, wait a minute. In my mind, I was sitting there looking at this, and I was like, wait a minute. And I was kind of like kidding a little bit to with myself, but I was like, you know what, I could do that. And it just stayed in my mind. So, you know, time passed, went through a lot of stuff, went through a divorce, and I've always been into running and stuff, and that. But at that time, I started lifting. The gym opened up here, right down the street, with the one where I used to work, where I used to have my insurance. They opened up a Planet Fitness right down the street. I came and signed up. Basically, it was like so she competed in October. In December, they were signing up people. So I signed up, started lifting, didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I started just following people on the internet and all this stuff, you know, just started happening. But this whole time, then we would go to other shows because she still wanted to compete. I don't think she ever did again, but we went to other shows, and I would see how, and I was asking a lot of questions because she had done it. I was asking at that time my ex-wife, you know, why is it like this and this and that and all these things. me playing softball before, I would see how tournaments were hosted, and I was like, you know, they should do this, they should do this. In my mind, I kept telling, it's kind of weird the way these shows are, you know, the judging and how some people become pros and this and that. And I was just, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't think it was right, but you know what? There was no other option. So basically, that was the only way. But in my mind, I had all these ideas of how it could be better. Okay. Then last year, so a few years passed, well, then the next year comes around, and I'm like, you know what? I was divorced and I was working. I was like, you know, I want to do that. I could do that. That thought came back to my mind. I was like, I can do that. But I was naive into how much work it actually took to get into somehow being stage ready. Never say that I was always Mr. Awesome or anything, but starting in January, I was like, you know, I'm gonna do it in March. Oh no, I didn't even come close. But instead of giving up, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it the next year, next March, which was 2015, and I just kept going, you know. And then the first show I did NPC, and then I did, I think, 2 other shows NPC. Then something happened. NSL, Inspire Sports League, came. And this Lee Thompson, I knew about him and everything before from NPC. He came up and he started saying all these things, these ideas. I was like, you know, he's saying the same things that I used to talk about with my ex-wife. And I used to tell people, like, you know, it would be better if it was this way, if they did this, if they did this, these little things. And he started saying all the stuff that I had in my mind. And I was like, wow. It's amazing how this guy's doing this. And he put his money where his mouth was. He started the league. He went on his own. He's gone against all kinds of stuff. You know, people say that it's not going to work and this, and he's still going. So I was like, I want to compete in that league because I believe in the things that he was talking about. So I see the dots, how they had, wow, I couldn't see it forward that, you know, there would be this league. I couldn't see it forward that, you know, if I worked hard enough, this could happen. In my mind, I was like, you know, I want to do this. I would love, but I couldn't see the path. But I believed in it. I could see it in my mind. And I was like, you know, and I gotta tell you guys, it's not easy because, man, I get a little emotional about it. A lot of times, I gotta tell you, your family and friends, a lot of times are the ones that discourage you. They don't believe, and maybe they're doing it because they care about you and they don't want to see you hurt. But many times, instead of encouraging you, they look at you and they look at you a certain way and they talk about you a certain way, like you're crazy. But you know what? I've learned in the last few years is that, you know what? I am kind of crazy. And you know what? I don't want to be normal. You know, I don't want to be average. You know, when I you know, a lot of times I talk to a girl here and there. I haven't dated anybody, but I have talked to her here and there. If you know, the last thing I always see people always say these things. Oh, I'm just like an average guy. I never say that, because you know what? I don't want to be average. I don't want to be average. I want to leave this legacy, and I do this. You know, a lot of times I've had issues with my dad and my brother where they're like, well, but you're missing practices, you're missing this for your daughter and this. Like, well, yes, I am. That's the whole point. The whole point is that I want them to see, you know, before I used to live my life as telling them what to do. Girls, you got to do this, even though I was getting drunk and doing all this stuff and staying out late. But I was telling them, you got to do this. You can't, you know, you can't do what dad's doing when you grow up. You got to do it this way. I made a decision and said, you know what, that's not right. I'm going to live my life in honor of God, and I want them hopefully to see and say, wow, look what dad did. So if he could do that, old man could do that, then I can do whatever I believe in. Yes, it's going to take sacrifice, You're gonna miss parties. You're gonna miss some birthdays. You're gonna miss some practices for your kids. You know, you might be late to a game. You might leave a little early. You know, I'm not saying you gotta totally discard and don't go around people, but it does take sacrifice. You know, while other people are out partying, quote unquote, having a good time at the club and everything, you know, you're at the gym. You know, while people are sleeping and getting ready to go to work, you know, many times you're at the gym, you already did cardio. But once you get going, guys, it changes your life. You know, a lot of times where I've gotten up around 3:30, 4 o'clock, getting ready for shows, has been some of the best times. When I look back at it, it's like, wow, that was an amazing time, because I'd get up, do cardio, have all this energy. By the time I would get to work, I would look back at the time and I was like, wow, I've done more before people have even woken up for the day than most people will do all day. You know, it just, you gotta look at life a different way once you get going. Once you start chasing your dreams, you start going. But I want to do this video to let you guys know that it does work out. If you have faith and you keep pushing, it's just a matter of time. Whatever it is, guys, it could be your job, you're starting a business, or you're in a you're struggling with a relationship problems, it could be school. Whatever your dream is, whatever you're going through, just don't give up. Okay, it's just a matter of time. People think you're crazy while you're doing this stuff. Why are you doing that? If you have the right why, which is going to push you through, you're doing it for somebody else, it'll eventually happen, guys. So just wanted to share this. Hopefully, I'll keep putting some other videos. I didn't give you all the details of everything that has happened in the few years. If I tell you everything, you won't believe everything that's happened. I mean, glory to be to God. Praise the Lord. That's all I can say. Thanks, Lee Thompson, Inspire Sports League, everybody involved in this organization. It's amazing what you guys have done. So let me go hit chest day. Gonna kill it. Plan is in October to compete. Gonna do a challenge. I'm gonna put all that out. I'm gonna start putting some videos. Hey guys, get in this challenge with me. I'm gonna put it on Facebook. Join me. You know, it costs, I think, $60. You could do different packages, but it's Mike Rashid's program. We're gonna do it starting August 1st, and it's for 12 weeks. So everything, all the dots fall into place. Even this challenge I'm gonna do is like, wow, it's perfect timing. I've been going through a bulking phase right now, slight bulk. Gonna do that. If you just keep going, things fall into place. Just keep the faith, keep believing, and thank you guys.